Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today from Poor Man's Podcast.
Y'all, when women get rejected, oh, it's deep.
We're talking about their box? We're talking about their emotions right now.
I don't know what it is, but we do not handle it well. Actually, I do know what it is, and I'm going to tell you in this video. Women desire to be desired, okay? That is something you're going to see in every woman. She wants to be desired. Some people allow their desire to run them. Some people can harness their desire, but all women deep down want to be desired. And so when she's not desired or does not feel desirable, she takes that internally. I mean, it makes her sad. It can cause depression. It can cause anxiety. It can cause you to feel like you're not good enough. It can cause hopelessness. I mean, it gets very deep. Because of that, I think a lot of women don't put themselves out there.
I'm glad they feel that way. This is how men have always felt. You know, we desire the people that desire us. How long has it been such one-sidedness of desire, and men hardly have ever felt this desire on our end? Now women are feeling it, and it's, poor women.
I think it boils down to one simple thing. That as women, we have to accept that looks matter. And we can fight it, we can argue it, but looks matter. And when a man's not attracted to us, it hits deep. Because most men are rejecting you because they're not attracted to you.
Serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come?
It might be the short, boyish haircut that you have.
Approach me? Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you know, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women, because we don't want to do that, you know? This is just a pro tip, okay?
It's funny how we used to use balls as like a metaphoric thing. Now she's using it as literal things. It's like, yes, we do have balls, but our balls don't give us the urge to want to put ourselves in danger. Just to put that out there.
Chime in.
The loneliness epidemic is real. I went to 2 bars, not just one, 2 bars, and I got rejected by not one, but 2 guys.
2 guys, those are rookie numbers. You got to pump that up. An average guy's going to get rejected at least 20 times before he gets even a date. A woman goes out and get rejected twice in the same night, and now all of a sudden we're in a loneliness epidemic. I don't think we in a loneliness epidemic. I think you in a loneliness epidemic.
Rookie numbers.
Now, I usually don't go out like this, but I was feeling like I was starving for affection. And I just wanted somebody to make me feel pretty. Like my mother once told me, sometimes you go out not because you want to have fun, but you want just one person to make you feel special. And I did that tonight. And maybe, just maybe, it was out of desperation. Not that I don't have a lot to live for, I have plenty. But I went out hoping to just feel a raw connection with somebody. And I got rejected by 2 people.
Well, this is the landscape that feminism has been putting into place for the past 70 years, and women are the ones that cheered it on, by the way. Yep. Women have been saying for the past 70 years they don't want men to approach them, and what women have to understand is that a man approaching you in and of itself is a non-consensual act. To approach a woman, you have to walk across the bar, spark up a conversation with a random stranger, usually without their consent, and that's an important factor in this. And sometimes you might be a little bit invasive of their space, especially if the bar is noisy. And because women have been saying they don't want men to approach, and most men respect a woman's consent, less men are approaching. So now you got to be the one to do the approaching. And look, if you don't believe me, read this. A significant portion of men, especially younger ones, report not approaching women, with studies showing that 45% of men aged 18 to 25. So that's the age where you're starting to get to know people. That's where you're starting to get to know the person you might potentially build a family with. 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person. For men aged 18 to 30, 55% have not approached a woman in the last year.
I mean, dating apps has changed the landscape of dating and just how people interact with each other. Social media, Instagram, how many people just DM each other instead of actually meeting in person? I don't really think people meet in person that often
For
anymore.
men aged 18 to 30, 55% have not approached a woman in the last year. And among single men, fear of rejection or appearing creepy are significant factors. Over 80% of men are afraid to approach women primarily due to fear of rejection, public embarrassment, or social consequences. So yeah, women being rude to men that gather the courage to walk across the bar and spark up a conversation with a stranger. And if they're not rude, they let their fat friend do the talking for them, the one that's never gotten any attention. So they're jealous of the friend that's getting the attention. So
The fridge.
they reject the guys on the woman's behalf. But it's okay, though. Women have been empowered to get the career that they want. You got to go to college. You got to do the resume, do the interview, then finally get the job. If you're willing to do all that just to go into the workforce, if you want a man, you'll be willing to approach them. And if you're not willing to approach, then things just might get hard for you. But that's the landscape that women cheered on and feminism built.
You know, it's funny that poor man actually brought that up of the whole, people putting in so many resumes for jobs and willing to work so hard to get their dream career. But women, especially women, do not work so hard to get their dream man, right? The effort that they put to get their dream career does not even equate close. It's like this to this of how much effort they put for career compared to a man. And the ultimate goal for them is a good man. That's the sadness of the effort that women actually put in to get men.
And I felt so terrible that I ended up walking home alone to sober myself up, because this was not the night that I planned out for myself. The loneliness epidemic is so real, and it is such a raw experience for me.
It's funny how for women it's so real, but when it's for men, it's like, men, they deserve it.
And for a lot of people. Now, it is not that I don't have... I feel like I am a pretty girl.
Uh-huh.
But it is not that I am looking necessarily in the wrong places. But it is the wrong time, and unfortunately, I have knocked on every door that I possibly could have. And every door has come to me to no avail.
Have you tried losing weight?
Also, be careful walking alone at night, because I just had somebody trail me. It's sad what we do when we're starving for affection. The last person that I was spending time with told me that they liked me, but I wanted so badly to be a girlfriend that it turned him away.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't like you, or there's some red flags that he's trying to work through, whether it be you have an exorbitant amount of student loan debt and he's thinking of that as a red flag when getting into a relationship or a marriage, or as you have a promiscuous past, so he's not taking you seriously.
Or you just not may be that attractive, right? She looks, look at the nose ring. Her attitude might be a factor, but she looks like a bigger girl. Most men are just gonna pump and dump bigger girls.
I'm definitely in the camp that if you're a woman and you don't have blatant red flags, usually men know if they like you or not. But he will sleep with you, though, so if you keep sticking around, you're gonna get slept with, but he probably will never, ever be in a relationship with you.
I just wanted a connection. I just wanted someone to hold me and make me feel like the world wasn't ending. And I spent all of my time trying to make this person feel special so that they wouldn't leave me, just for them to say that I was trying too hard and for them to move on.
Yeah, he definitely didn't like her. No man who likes a woman is going to tell her that she's trying too hard for trying to cater to him.
Just for them to say that I was trying too hard and for them to move on. It's absolutely crazy. So now I'm just listening to my music, going on like a 3-mile walk. This I would not advise to you. I was in a funky headspace, so I'm doing it. But be careful out there, ladies. Be careful.
And this is how you could tell there's a female loneliness epidemic. The male loneliness epidemic, a bunch of feminists came up with that talking point, and they say that as a way to try to gaslight men into building relationships and blah, blah, blah. But being alone and being lonely are two different things.
True.
You can see that a lot of women, especially that are building parasocial relationships on TikTok, because that's exactly what this is. She has nobody that she can go and call. Probably not that many friends that she's intimately close with where she can have this conversation with them. on her 3-mile walk home. So she's recording a TikTok to build parasocial relationships, basically screaming into the void to get validation from people that don't actually care about her. And this is a symptom, in my opinion, of the female loneliness epidemic, and you're seeing more and more of this. These are conversations that you used to have with an intimate friend, a girlfriend, and you would have these conversations, but now you're seeing more women resort to TikTok and telling their stories on TikTok because they don't really have genuine relationships. But this woman...
Poor man's right. We see so many more videos of women talking to people on the internet thinking that these people care, right? Maybe someone pretend to care. Some people might type in some things, but do they genuinely care? Not really. They don't know you. They don't connect with you fully. Yeah, they may connect with you through, the internet and, your channel or whatever, but they don't know you as a person.
Woman's in the right direction. She's walking. She has to lose 25 pounds and things will go better for her, for sure.
True.
As a woman, as long as you stay in decent shape, you don't even got to be crazy in shape. In decent shape, there's always going to be some guy. Men are starting to become indifferent to relationships, and that's going to be the worst thing for women because it's not even an anger. It's a not caring. I'm going to tell you now, men are used to being alone and men are used to living with the bare minimum. So this transition isn't going to be hard for most men.
It isn't.
But for women who tend to depend on relationships, who tend to be the beneficiaries of relationships oftentimes, usually they're not the ones that are paying for the relationship is essentially what I'm saying. It's going to be significantly harder to realize that for the next 60 years of your life, you may be alone and working a job because that's what women said they wanted. When you look at the fact that more women are becoming alcoholics than ever, when you look at the fact that women are building weird parasocial relationships with other women online just to feel, when you look at the anti-anxiety and the anti-depression medicine use, it's quite clear that women are definitely going through something. And really it's just women are going against their biology. They've been told that they're going to find more fulfillment in life through folding pants at the Banana Republic or being a branch manager for Burger King than they will through family. And I mean, this is going to be the result of that. Women are very social beings. So literally like 2 days ago, I made a video on this woman who talked about going out to a bar and getting rejected by 2 guys and basically saying that she was looking for a relationship. She was trying hard to find a relationship, but for some reason, guys aren't responding well to what she's trying to pitch to them. And when I make these types of videos, I do a lot of them where I take clips from TikTok of people talking about social narratives. When I do these types of videos, I try not to ever insult the person, and I usually talk about...
I just did this video. This is probably the video before this one that I'm going to release. He didn't really say anything like personally about her. He didn't even mention the whole nose ring thing like I did.
About the ideas or the themes that they're presenting in the video. That's kind of what I do for a living. And really when I critique this video, I was mostly just talking about the proof of indifference that men have towards women in relationships.
True.
Men are indifferent when it comes to relationships, and you're starting to see that because even when women are shooting their shot, men are starting to respond in a way where it shows a lack of interest. I use some statistics and stuff to prove my point, and if you guys want to watch that video, I'll leave it in the pinned comments. I actually suggest that you watch that video before you watch this one so you can understand where I was coming from. But either way, she just made a response video, so let's go ahead and get right into it.
I posted a video online that was meant for my close friends, and yes, I did share it online publicly, but
Yeah.
I found it to be the topic of a YouTube channel with over 1 million followers.
When she says that, she's talking about Anton Daniels' channel. If you don't know Anton Daniels, he's a great follow, but he made this video before me, and I don't know what he said in his commentary, but I do know that he's the one that has over 1 million subscribers.
And it was a personal video that I did not give permission to be leaked. Now, that being...
It's a personal video I didn't give permission to be leaked. You released it yourself.
said, I was talking about the loneliness epidemic and how it is difficult for anybody of any gender to find themselves in the position where they are rejected when they are looking via dating apps, going out in person, making friends, trying to find someone to connect with.
And I addressed that point in my video. I said, yeah, well, this is part of equality. Most men live lives unseen. Most men live lives unnoticed. Most men live lives of rejection without compliments. That's just what equality is. So if feminists are saying they want equality between the genders, this is what it's going to lead to because this is the life of an average man.
And honestly, giving up all resorts and going to a bar like I did and just trying to see if I hit it off with somebody. That's all it was. Just me being single and wanting to hit it off with somebody, and I got rejected by 2 men. And I posted a video about how frustrating it was. Not because I got rejected by 2 men, but just because I have been searching for 3 years, hoping that I could find a connection with somebody. And that is not wrong.
No,
that is not wrong. But these the YouTubers sourced my video and talked about how how me as a woman being rejected speaks leaps and bounds for what the dating narrative is.
It does.
And I have been the subject of the scrutiny of many YouTubers, of over 100,000 people that commented on that video and talked about how I am a torta. I am fat. I am overweight. How the septum theory is real and how I hate men when, that makes so much sense because I hit on men in the bar and I wanted their company.
That doesn't mean you don't hate on them, right? That's the problem of these women seeing, oh, but I'm doing this. Well, how can it prove that I hate? No, just by like the way you kind of act and the way you kind of go about things, we can kind of tell you dislike men.
How my tattoos make me a whore.
Well, I didn't say that. That's the comments. I can't control what the comments say. But just pay attention to the victim type of language that she's using, because she said that this video was leaked when it was publicly available on TikTok. There's already a contradiction in what she's saying that I just didn't even address because it was just so obvious that I feel like I don't even need to point it out. You can't say that this was a private video that was leaked, but you publicly put it on TikTok for full display.
So much judgment that I would never dare to presume or dare partake to give to anybody has been put onto me.
Well, I did say one thing that was personal about her, but it wasn't actually judgment. It was just more criticism and advice. But sometimes people who are not used to criticism takes criticism as cruelty. I said that if you lose 25 pounds, you're probably going to have different results, because most men, as long as a woman is fit, somebody will be with you. Actually, I'll just include a clip of what I said, and this was the only time I addressed her personally. But this woman's in the right direction. She's walking. She has to lose 25 pounds, and things will go better for her, for sure. And that's the truth. And if there was a guy that was dating and he was overweight and he wanted to find a woman that fit him and he wasn't having any luck, but he was 25 or 45 pounds overweight, I would tell him to do the exact same thing.
Agreed.
Your weight is a physical display of your level of discipline, and regardless of if you believe that it should be judged, it certainly is judged. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that as a fact and choosing to do better. And by the
I mean, it's visuals. It's just like hair. If I was bald, I would get judged a certain way. It's just like how women have long hair. We judge them a certain way. If they have short hair, we judge them a certain way. It's just looks. When people see, which is the first thing they see, is your looks.
By the way, I don't see anything wrong with her pursuing a relationship. I actually think that that's a smart thing to do, especially if you're a woman. And I actually don't think that there's anything wrong with her pursuing a relationship. I think that if you're a woman and you want a relationship, you should pursue a relationship, because you pursue everything that you actually want. If a woman wants a job, what does she do? She goes $40,000 into debt to get a college degree,
Correct.
then do a resume, then do an interview, and she does all the steps necessary to get a job. So if you really...
No, it touches upon what I said, the amount of effort and time and dedication they put into getting their careers. They put nowhere close to that trying to get a man.
To put in all that effort to get a job, I do think that as a woman, you should also be willing to put that effort into getting the man that you like. But what I'm saying is the reason why it's harder for women to pursue those things is because a lot of dudes feel like the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore. Not only that, but why would a man approach you in the current climate where women have made it almost impossible, especially when you have easier access where you're not publicly humiliated like social media or dating app? What I'm saying is a man approaching you in public is inherently a non-consensual act. And over the past 70 years, women have made it clear that they don't want to be approached. So men who respect women's consent are going, okay, we're not going to approach anymore. This is the current climate that women have asked for, them to do the approaching.
To talk about this issue. And I reached out to both YouTubers and asked if I could make commentary on these videos, because I think there's a deeper social implication, and I was not given that opportunity. Not only did they steal that video, but they did not include me or even... I mean, I guess it's already...
No, so she just didn't get any clout out of it other than her face plastered on all of these men's videos that have millions of followers. So she didn't get enough clout. That's what we're hearing.
But they did not allow me to give permission or comment on it. So I'm taking a step further, and I am going to the Drew Barrymore show. And I am sending in an inquiry, and hopefully she accepts it, because I love that woman and I love that show. But here's what I have put. So bear with me. I posted a video on TikTok about the loneliness epidemic and what it is like to be rejected as a woman who pursues men. I am a passionate, always vulnerable, and earnest individual with a fiery disposition. I'm meant to break a caste, a stereotype, in the dating scene that implies one misleading narrative and all of its complexities. That it isn't okay for women to be lonely and pursue company in whatever form that may take. The dating scene has a lot of rigidity surrounding the idea that men are to pursue women, and that women who pursue are desperate and less than. I don't believe that's true. I like to enable the ideology that I am brave and intelligent and, more importantly, capable of getting what I want. So I pursue men. In doing so, I have encountered a lot of frustration and rejection. When confessing feelings to a small group of friends, my video was leaked to an online YouTube source and sources that have lamented me for pursuing men.
Small group of friends, of which is all of TikTok. Got it.
And more importantly, implied that women deserve the loneliness we receive because we pushed the Me Too movement and metaphorically chose the bear. I have been shamed for my weight, my jewelry, and my tattoos. The expressions I bear with pride have now become the subject of scrutiny for over 80,000, now 100,000 individuals in less than 24 hours. Here are the links to the videos that reference me, insult me, and dare not give me my proper accreditation. So, help this spread, because I have so much to say. I have so much to say, and I have every right to say.
Oh, it's spreading. It's just, you know, people like Pearl, me, are going to all cover all these videos and spread you even more. Yeah.
Say so, and I'm feeling pretty adamant about this. And I believe that this community, I chose TikTok to post because I knew that there was a strong community of women and men out there that are supportive of one another and embrace one another. And unfortunately, this got leaked to the wrong hands. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk and I want to listen. And I think this should be a bigger issue.
Yeah.
You say you want to listen, but I'm sure Anton told you, Poor Man told you, and if you watch my videos, I've told you, there's many things that you could do or could have done, but the problem is men are just not having it anymore.
I think she's getting my point misconstrued. I don't care if women approach men. In fact, I think because of the current landscape, they should be the ones to do the approaching. But I understand that most women aren't going to approach because it is a hard thing to do, and I think it should be respected as a hard thing to do. There needs to be a respect for the game. A man walking across the room respectfully approaching you should not be disrespected or belittled just because he's trying to spark a relationship. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special as a help brother out, especially the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.
Women are the biggest vocal judgers. They judge men on everything, but when men judge women, then it's a problem. Oh, you shouldn't be judged by these things. It's like women judge men on just the car they drive, or the clothes they wear, or if they wear a brown belt with black shoes or whatever. It's just so many little things. What the whole ick list is women judging men on all their little actions. Right? And men can't judge women. All we're judging is, yeah, the juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore, and that septum nose ring plus your weight might be a problem. Just might be. Just saying. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.